Welcome. Today we'll be assessing your whole audience, making sure your presentation is accessible to everyone. This slideshow presentation will help bring awareness and advice on minor modifications that can be made to your presentation to increase the communicability to participants who have low or no vision. As presenters, your job is to make sure everyone in the audience can access the information you're sharing. Here are some facts. 90% of information in our environment is communicated visually, making it easy as presenters to focus solely on this mode and neglect the others. Unfortunately, this can exclude people with exceptional learning styles from gaining the maximum amount of information from your presentation. As presenters, we need to reach and allow accessibility to 100% of our audience. Distribute handouts ahead of the presentation. By providing the handouts in advance, diverse participants are given the opportunity to put the material into an accessible format. They are also given a chance to look over the presentation at their own pace so they can better participate in group discussions during the presentation. When creating presentations and handouts, make sure handouts and information presented on the screen uses large font, has high contrast, and doesn't rely on solely color to communicate information. Using a slightly larger font like 18 or 24 helps people with visual impairments have an easier time reading any printed material in the presentation. Font also gets lost when there's little contrast between the words and the background. Highlighting important words in colors like yellow and red impedes the ability for those with impaired color vision from picking up this information. Adding an additional underline, bolding, or quotation marks helps this information stand out from the rest. The first two graphics are examples of what not to do. In the upper left sentence, the brown cow jumped over the moon and landed in a snowy field. The phrase jumped over the moon is written in red to highlight its importance. In the second image, that phrase is repeated with the phrase written in red appearing gray. This is what an individual with a color vision impairment sees when reading the sentences. The gray matches the rest of the words and does not stand out. The bottom left image shows the correct way to write this sentence. The same phrase is written in red, bolded, and underlined to highlight its importance. Be sure to include audio descriptions of visuals. Describe any photos, videos, or charts or graphs that are used throughout the presentation. This information could be missed if not described. Avoid visual clutter. Limiting the number of visuals on a slide makes it easier for the audience to key in on the important information being shared. On the top left, you see a slide with multiple pictures. On the bottom right, you see a slide with just one picture. This slide makes it easier for the participant to focus and hone in on the important information being shared. Read the room. If you are using a chat room during your presentation, participants with visual impairments may miss out on important group discussions, or even entry and exit keys if the chat sections are not read aloud. Consider delegating this task so you can focus on your presentation. Control the speed of the presentation. Be sure to give a 3 to 5 second pause when transitioning slides or if a question has been asked. We all process at different speeds, and it's possible a participant with a visual impairment may be trying to keep up with the information in a different format, which could take a little bit longer. Have a great conference. Feel free to contact us with any questions. ISBVI Think Tank members are Tiffany Sanders, the Assistant Superintendent of Programs and Services, T. Sanders at isbvik12.org, Kara Kennett, Elementary Principal, C. Kennett at isbvik12.org, Julie Beatty, Instructional Coach, J. Beatty at isbvik12.org, Emily Spencer, Instructional Coach. E. Spencer at isbvik12.org. And Megan DeWester, a Certified Orientation and Mobility Specialist. Comms, M. DeWester at isbvik12.org.